Hello there, and welcome to yet another episode of Regular Beer Reviews, where regular doesn't refer to the beers being reviewed, but to the reviewer, myself. I'm Jesse, and today I'm going to be reviewing a beer I've never had before. This is another one from Magic Hat. I love Magic Hat. I've done quite a few of their beers before, and so I'm going to do this one. This is Dream Machine. It's an IPL. Now, that intrigued me. I've never really seen that before. Didn't know what an IPL was. It's one of the reasons why I decided to pick this beer up. I was able to find out when I looked up the numbers on this, so I'll tell you now. Beer Advocate gives this beer a 76, which is okay, and that's with 430 ratings. The Bros have not had this beer yet, and Rate Beer gives it a 47 overall with a 78 for the style. Now, I'm not sure how long it's been out, but I can only imagine not very long, being that it only has 430 ratings on Beer Advocate. I mean, people usually rush to do Magic Hat beers. So with only 430 ratings, I'm assuming it hasn't been out long, and the Bros haven't had a chance to try it yet. So, but anyway, it has an ABV of 5.7%. It has the availability is rotating. It has 50 IBUs, and the style on Beer Advocate, it said it was an American Pale Lager, which I know what that is. I've had plenty of them. But on Rate Beer, it said that it's a strong pale lager / imperial pilsner, which those both basically describe the same thing, which is just an American pale lager or pale lager with a higher alcohol content. So 5.7%, that makes sense. A lot of pilsners usually have, like European style pilsners usually have like 4 or 5, 5% alcohol. So 5 point, that makes sense. But anyway, and just in case you didn't know, Magic Hat is the Magic Hat Brewing Company out of South Burlington, Vermont. I've said it in every review I've ever done, but if this is the first one you've ever seen and you've ever had Magic Hat, that's where they're located. Anyway, here's a quick descript from Rate Beer. It says, Dream Machine, an Indian Pale Lager, or IPL, is a melding of varied visions of an IPA and an amber lager. Once poured, its light copper color delights the eyes, and a citrusy hop aroma flows through the nose. Upon first sip, a smooth hop bitterness reveals itself, fresh, bold, and slightly spicy, before subtle hints of mild maltiness appear. A big hop bite and a crisp, clean lager finish combine for a beautifully balanced beer. Take Dream Machine for a spin and let your reverie begin. So, it sounds like a pretty good beer. Sounds like it'd be a good summer beer, which, a lot of smoke there. Which, I mean, Magic Hat, they do so many seasonal releases, and they usually do a seasonal, just like Sam Adams or something, and they do a seasonal pack. I mean, they do a good 2 or 3. I don't know if they do one every season, but I know I remember I picked up their winter one last year and the fall one, and they release a lot of beers. So anyway, let's get a look at this. Just from the appearance, it looks like an amber lager. That's exactly what it looks like. Moderate to light, heavy carbonation streaming up there. It's a nice amber color, deep hints of gold with very light kind of copper red tinges to it. There's about a 1 finger head there. It's frothy, slightly off-white. It looks really nice. So let's go on ahead and get a nose on this. Oh yeah, right up front I get a very light kind of floral hop. It's mostly floral, but there's hints of pine in there too. It's slightly piney, citrusy. Definitely getting that kind of light caramel toffee malt that you would associate with an amber lager. And maybe almost smells like maybe they might have used some type of spice in there. I'm not sure what, but anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this. I'm definitely smelling more hops than I'm tasting. It definitely has more hops than like the average amber lager, but to me, I mean, this to me seems reminiscent of almost Sam Adams Boston Lager. That's what this kind of reminds me of. I mean, it's different too. It has a little bit more hop character. I mean, the Boston Lager has a nice hop character to it. I mean, it has a little bit of a bite. This has a little bit more. I mean, it says 50 IBUs. I don't know if I'd take this for 50, but there's definitely a bitterness there. It doesn't really linger too long, but it's, again, in the flavor of the hops, kind of on the front of the tongue. First thing you get is this kind of burst of kind of citrusy. Again, it's citrusy and it's mostly floral, but then there are little hints of pine almost. And it has the bitterness kind of, it doesn't really linger. It's only there for a second, but then I can still taste the hops in my mouth, but not the bitterness. I mean, I can just kind of taste that, again, very lightly piney, just kind of citrusy thing there. It's not watery by any means, but it has a little bit of a thinner mouthfeel than I would expect. Again, it's like an amber lager. Like, I don't know, the way it describes IPAs in the description, I was taking that IPAs usually have a little bit of a thicker mouthfeel than just like a lager or something, but most ales do. But yeah, that's really what this reminds me of. This is like Sam Adams Boston Lager. The complexity's right about the same. The depth of flavor is right about the same. The hop character is a little different. The malt character is almost identical. I mean, there's light, caramel, toffee kind of malt that it leaves a nice sweetness. There's kind of a sweetness in the middle. You taste the hops, and then you definitely taste the malts, and there's that sweetness, and then the bitterness of the hops kind of hangs out there for a second, and then it's gone. But same mouthfeel is just a lot. To me, this is, I mean, it says according to Magic Hat, it's an India Pale Lager. But to me, this just tastes like, I mean, again, like Boston Lager or something. That's really what it reminds me of. For a lager, though, it is pretty good. I like it. I think I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10. That's a C from me. That's average. It's certainly better than a macro lager or something, which to me they're far below average. But I mean, I think Dream Machine is a good beer. If you see it, I would definitely say pick it up. It's refreshing. Some might describe this as like a lawnmower beer or something. I've heard a lot of really serious beer connoisseurs, and they look at like Sam Adams Boston Lager as just a lawnmower beer. They say it's almost macro. It's so I think it's more of the fact that it's just gotten really mainstream, and that's what. But still though, it has a lot more complexity, a lot more depth, a lot more flavor than a macro lager, most certainly. But there's definitely a hop character there. There's definitely a bitterness. But I've never, I don't know, maybe to me this just tastes like Boston Lager, or which it's a lot better than, but it also reminds me a little bit of, I did a review on it. It's the one from the Batch 19. It's just like a lager that's a little darker malts, a little heavier in flavor, and then a nice little hop bite at the end. So that's pretty much what this is reminding me of. It's a good beer. Again, I'm going to give it a C. which is a 7 out of 10. If you see it, though, pick it up, because it is a good beer. It is worth trying. I like it. I love Magic Hat. They do a lot of really good beers. This certainly isn't my favorite from them, but it's all right. So, thank you for watching, and keep watching again in the future for more reviews. Prost.